Not at all, man. They lied on a few occasions telling people that it was my show so they can get free advertisements and use somebody's property.
Last Friday's big ringside fight could be heading to court. A Florida man has filed a $50 million lawsuit against Netflix claiming breach of contract after subscribers dealt with buffering issues during the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Undoubtedly, Mike Tyson would have abandoned the fight with Jake Paul if he had known it would lead to such chaos. Now, the court has ordered Jake Paul and Netflix to compensate fans significantly for the failed delivery on Fight Night. Additionally, a new development emerged just yesterday. The court has ordered a search of Mike Tyson's house for undisclosed reasons.
They also used the UFC to try to allow them to promote their movie, and Dana said he's not with that at all.
It was widely speculated that the search was related to a recently resurrected rape case against Mike Tyson, although there were also rumors connecting the raid to Diddy. The federal agents on the scene refused to disclose the reason for the search, but Tyson complied fully, allowing them to search his entire house once the warrant was presented.
Hey, listen, I hope they enjoy themselves. I hope, hey, whatever happens, happen. I'm just very grateful that I'm here talking to you.
During the search of Mike Tyson's apartment, several items were taken into custody. Tyson was also ordered to accompany the officers to the police station for questioning before eventually being released. The allegation that Tyson had forced intercourse with a woman resurfaced shortly before his fight with Jake Paul.
I'm a jerk sometimes, and I say things that sometimes crass and coarse, but I would never do nothing to that extent. And whatever.
As Mike Tyson prepared to fight Jake Paul, his legal team was also gearing up to battle a civil lawsuit in federal court, accusing the former heavyweight champion of raping a woman more than 30 years ago. While the initial lawsuit was filed in January 2023, a significant development emerged in June. The woman, who alleges Tyson brutally raped and sexually assaulted her in the early 1990s in the back of a limousine, informed the court that she had mistakenly cited the wrong date of the alleged attack, according to court records reviewed by USA Today Sport.
Listen, how do they expect to have a relationship with entertainers when they're stealing money from them? They're not offering them to pay them for their life story. It's just a bit, man, listen.
Tyson has denied the allegations. Court records indicate that USA Today Sports attempted to question Tyson about the lawsuit during a video interview on Friday, but his publicist, Joan Manano, interrupted, stating, "We're not going to talk about that." Thank you. Next question. An amended complaint filed on the woman's behalf claims she was raped by Tyson on March 1, 1990, not March 1, 1991. As originally stated in her complaint filed with the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of New York. The woman is seeking $5 million, according to court records.
I took advantage of women before, but I never took advantage of her. I don't know what to say about that situation. Just basically took the whole life out of me in that situation. I never again trusted anyone, not even myself, around certain people. I just took a lot of confidence.
As Mike Tyson prepared to fight Jake Paul, he faced not only a physical battle in the ring, but also a legal one in federal court. Tyson's legal team was gearing up to fight a civil lawsuit, accusing the former heavyweight champion of raping a woman more than 30 years ago. The initial lawsuit was filed in January 2023, but a significant development emerged in June. The woman, who alleges Tyson brutally raped and sexually assaulted her in the early 1990s in the back of a limousine, informed the court that she had mistakenly cited the wrong date of the alleged attack, according to court records reviewed by USA Today Sports. Tyson, now 58, has denied these allegations. Court records indicate that USA Today Sports attempted to question Tyson about the lawsuit during a video interview on Friday, but his publicist, Joan Manano, interrupted, stating, "We're not going to talk about that." Thank you. Next question. An amended complaint filed on the woman's behalf claims she was raped by Tyson on March 1, 1990, not March 1, 1991. As originally stated in her complaint filed with the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of New York, the woman is seeking $5 million, according to court records. Tyson was convicted in 1992 of raping Desiree Washington, an 18-year-old Miss Black America beauty pageant contestant. He served 3 years in prison for this conviction. His attorneys were planning to file opposition papers by November 18, just 3 days after Tyson was set to fight Paul at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This information comes from an October 3 letter written by the woman's attorney to the magistrate judge handling the case. The woman suing Tyson filed the lawsuit under the Adult Survivors Act, which was enacted in New York in May 2022. This act allows alleged victims of sexual offenses for which the statute of limitations has expired 1 year to file suit. The court denied an application from the woman, identified as Christy Pinto, to proceed anonymously. USA Today generally does not identify victims of alleged sex offenses, but Pinto's identity has been made public through court documents. Darren Seelbach, an attorney representing Pinto, declined to comment, and Pinto did not respond to requests for comment from USA Today Sports. The inconsistency in dates has raised issues of credibility. Alan Sash, a New York attorney who has represented both plaintiffs and defendants in cases involving alleged sex offenses, though not involved in this case, commented on the situation. The defendant is going to say, "Look, she's inconsistent with her dates, so perhaps that means it never happened." Sash told USA Today Sports. And the plaintiff is going to say, "This event happened decades." So whether it was a certain day in 1990 or 1991, it's kind of immaterial to the real issue of whether or not I was assaulted. Sash also said he doesn't think the inconsistency of dates will have a bearing on the plaintiff filing an amended complaint. Faye Blasberger, a New York attorney with the firm of Clayman, Rosenberg, Kirshner, and Linder, who is not involved in this case, addressed the issue of the incorrect date, highlighting the challenges involved in Adult Survivors Act cases for both plaintiffs and defendants. A lot of the plaintiffs we represent have extraordinary guilt because they were initially too fearful to report their assault, Blasberger said, referring to her experience representing actress Julia Ormond in a civil lawsuit accusing Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault in 1995. Now, years later, the ASA and similar revival statutes provide these victims with the opportunity to hold their abusers and enablers accountable. In this case, where 3 decades have elapsed, it is understandable why the date in the complaint was incorrect, and that fact shouldn't undermine the plaintiff's claims. However, the immense passage of time since 1990 or 1991 has affected witnesses' memories and the preservation of evidence. This issue is compounded by Tyson learning the alleged assault occurred on a different date, a year and a half after the case was filed. Tyson's attorney, Daniel S. Rubin, initially indicated that Tyson would accept the amended complaint if Pinto provided an affidavit explaining the good faith basis for the alleged amendment. According to a letter written by Rubin and filed with the court, objections arose from subsequent depositions conducted with 2 witnesses. Pinto testified she reported the alleged rape to these witnesses shortly after the alleged incident in March 1991.